I was on the flight back from Vegas last week,
Viva Las Vegas.
and so I was on this flight back, and everyone that I was with were all in these different seats, so I'm sitting way in the back by myself.
Window seat?
No, I was on the aisle. I like being on the aisle.
The aisle seat does have its advantages.
So my neighbors were a nice Indian couple, like an elderly Indian couple. They got there right before the plane took off. I helped them put their bags up above.
That bag scenario is always a little bit weird.
For sure. And these two had a lot of bags. They had a lot of coats. It felt like there was coats all over the place.
Coats in Vegas? How hot was it there?
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Why did they have all those coats? Yeah, it was like 100 and something degrees down there. Dude. And they were puffy coats.
Like winter coats?
I don't know what they were doing. I'm not sure they knew what they were doing.
Not a lot of people know what they're doing.
So, there I am on the aisle. We're ready to take off. I just kept going into this little meditative state, just closing my eyes. It was an early flight, so it was easy to get into this state. And as we take off, dude, these two have TikTok or Instagram open, both of them, and there's like looping music video things going on, and then the husband gets a call. It's all so loud. I'm just sitting there closing my eyes, minding my own business, but it's so loud and no one else notices.
No, people noticed.
Oh, yeah. People noticed. I meant the flight attendants didn't notice. It was like a circus next to me. It was so loud.
And that's not bothering you?
No, it was like the opposite, because I just knew it'd be so entertaining. So, like things like this, it's so fun. They had like a language barrier, and they're like elderly, so I mean the drink cart comes by.
Yes, the drink cart.
So they're kind of preoccupied with the coats, and they didn't really get they weren't paying attention to the drink cart. So once it started going by a little bit, the husband looks up and just says, "Water?" So then they get him some water.
Hydration is key.
So the wife gets a water too, and then the cart starts moving, and then he looks up and says, "Coffee?"
Coffee's a must.
The cart moves a little bit more, and then he says, "Cream?"
Is he getting everything separate?
Yup. The flight attendants realize what's going on, and they're trying to get out of there, and he looks up and goes, "Sugar?"
The man knows how he likes his coffee.
As the flight continues, every time a flight attendant comes by, they lean over and say, "Hey, you need to push your bags underneath." No, underneath the seats. Underneath the seats, yeah, underneath the seats. And each time, the couple, they just barely nudge their bags and the coats, and they don't even move anywhere. They just got all these bags and coats on their laps and at their feet.
The coats are still tripping me out. Why do they have so many coats to go to Vegas?
Yeah, the coats, that is just gonna remain a mystery for the rest of our lives. No one knows why they had that many coats.
Damn. Now I really want to know.
So, as the flight goes on, I keep closing my eyes, kind of drifting off, falling asleep, and and then I feel this nudge, and I open my eyes, and there's a wrist on my knee.
What? What is it? A ghostly, disembodied wrist? What is this, a haunted flight?
It's the husband's wrist. So he has this tiny, thin gold bracelet. It's insane, and somehow he had hooked it onto his wife's, zipper onto the side of her purse.
Seriously?
I should have taken a photo. You wouldn't believe it. This bracelet was so thin, and somehow it got into the zipper thing. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, how the fuck did this even happen? So I'm trying to work it. I'm helping this guy. I'm trying to work it. The clasp for the bracelet is like I've never seen anything like it. It was so bizarre.
What is happening?
So I sat there and worked on it for 4 or 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? How'd this even happen?
That's bonkers.
I felt like a bomb tech, and this was the most complex bomb I'd ever tried to defuse. The guy's wrist was constantly in the way. I couldn't see around it. The purse kept moving. The clasp was nowhere to be seen. I'm like, how are these things connected? We're running out of time. Which wire do I cut? Finally, finally that clasp released its grip somehow. I was like, hallelujah.
Oh, success.
So, shortly after we landed, and I mean, I was like, wow, what an emotional roller coaster. I mean, at one point I felt like I was in Indiana Jones, then it's calm, then I feel like I'm in another fucking action-packed summer blockbuster. I mean, it's a fucking madness going on. The coats, all this, and anyway, I got their bags down, and then we all went on our merry way.
Wow.
Overall, I mean, I give that flight a solid 8.1, especially for the entertainment factor.
All right.
8.1 is a good score. I know people don't think it is, but it's a really good score.